Welcome to the Southern State of Golf podcast. Hi, I'm your host, John, and welcome to another episode. We're in season 3. I'm not season 3. I'm already jumped the season. I've already messed it all up. We're in season 2. Maybe after this episode today, I'm going to wish I'm in season 3. No, we're in season 2 of the Southern State of Golf, and we're here to talk about, I'm here with Jonathan and Robby from the BestBall podcast family. How are y'all guys doing today?
I'm good. Jonathan puts down his Dr. Pepper. He'll respond.
Right. No, I'm good. Learning all sorts of things about grips and how the game of golf is supposed to be played. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we've had a little pre-show discussion about a lot of different things that some will certainly remain anonymous from that regards. But we're here to talk about on our episode today. We recently closed out 2025, my last round of golf in 2025. I had an opportunity to go down and play the Aiken Golf Club late in December and played with Jonathan and Robby, one of Jonathan's friends. And I had a fantastic time. It was my first time playing Aiken Golf Club in at least 20 years. It might even be longer than that. So, Robby, when was the last time you played the Aiken Golf Club?
I played it with Jonathan. I know he has played it more recently than me, but we went probably almost 2 years ago now.
With Joel?
Yeah, with Joel Leopard of Atomic Golf and our friend Brandon Smith. And that was the one and only time I had ever played it, and I loved it. But yeah, I was glad to get back out there at the end of 2025 with you.
Now, Jonathan, I know you live in the area. Do you get to play Aiken Golf Club often?
Not too often, but I have. So there's a Beasley media group that does this little punch card. So you can buy, I think it's $150. So it's about 12 courses in the area that you get to basically play for free plus a cart fee. So what was it? Sometime in September, October, maybe, I went out with a group of friends and played it then. Obviously played with you all in December. I'd played with Robby and Joel. It's been 2 years, but I think somewhere in between that, I'd gone off and played as well, played another time. So it's a great course, like I said, just around the corner. Ironically, it's probably about the same distance in terms of time for Robby to get there and for me to get there. It's about an hour or so from my house. Aiken's sort of in the middle between us.
Yeah, little over an hour for me.
Yep, but yeah, fun little track.
Yeah, it's called one of the best values in golf, or certainly in the area. Like the 18-hole rate Monday through Thursday on their website's $45. The weekend's $55. I mean, you can even walk it during the week for $30. I'm trying to think of another course. First of all, golf is not a cheap sport, and most of the time, I just think it is a fantastic value. And I'm just trying to think of another course that might be just as good of value that's around, but I think it's one of the better value courses. What do you guys think?
I would agree with that. On top of it almost feels like it's got 2 or 3 different personalities, right? You start off, I think it's the first 4 or 5 holes, you're running along the railroad track. And if you're listening to this and you go and play and they tell you the ball breaks towards the railroad tracks, it 100%, no matter what you think, is going to break towards the railroad tracks when it comes to the greens. And then all of a sudden you play another handful of holes and you're almost in the middle of a neighborhood, right? You cross the street, there's a group of houses, but not like a regular neighborhood where you have to walk 200 yards to get to the next tee box, just sort of one right after another. And then there's a cluster in the middle of the round that's just sort of a out and back almost, a nice little round trip. When we were playing, talk about best value, the snack shack was closed. But if you go, the lady will give you free apples and free bananas. You don't have to buy anything. So you can pick up a free apple or free banana, which then, of course, you feel obligated to buy something. But it doesn't change the fact that you can get a free apple or a free banana right there at number 8, I think it is. This one just before the turn.
No tacos, but...
No tacos. Maybe they do, I don't know, maybe they do like burgers and cookouts in the summer, but... yeah, I mean, you talk about $55. The only thing I can think of that would come close from a value perspective in the area is maybe Pine Ridge that Robby and I got to play. But otherwise, at least in the Augusta area, you're pushing $70, $80 to go out on a weekend, and every bit of 65 plus for the public courses that are in our area.
Yeah, I think Aiken's it's hard to beat, and it's still, even though it's an older course, small course, it's still a hidden gem in my opinion. Yeah. I think
Absolutely.
I think more people, when they come to the area to play some of these big new, either private or mostly private, nice courses in the area, you got to add a day to play Aiken Golf Club for sure.
No, I would certainly agree. I would tell you, I just want to confess me being a little bit of a snob, um, and not being correct about it. Like, I remember playing it, like I said, 20 plus years ago, and I know it was renovated, I think around 2000 or somewhere right around maybe 90s. And I don't remember it being that good. Like, I was like, I wasn't overly impressed way back then. But I got to admit, when I came back, I was like, man, this is really good. Like, I was just really surprised because I know I saw other places. The Fried Egg Golf Podcast did an article on it, and others. I've seen some YouTube videos. Oh, this is a really good course, hidden gem. To be truthful, I kind of rolled my eyes on it because, like, I've been there. It's not that good. Man, I was completely wrong, and that's where I guess you can't always just judge a course maybe one time you played it, or for my case, 20 plus years ago. Might want to give it another chance. I thought it was a tremendous, take away the value part. It was a good, it's a good course. It was a lot of fun. I love the clubhouse area. I think that's a cool the clubhouse in the background. And when I rolled up, Robbie, you were on the putting green that was a cool little putting green there.
The tiny little weird putting green. Yeah, it's awesome.
It was.
No driving range though, but you're in downtown Aiken, so it's probably hard to have land for a driving range.
Yeah. Well, the parking was the toughest thing for me.
Well, and then the other side too is a lot of folks will look at it and see the yardage and think, oh, it's way too short. It's not going to be challenging. But one, they do a really good job of some turns and twists whenever it comes to how you need to get from one to the other. And then the greens, from a undulation, from a creativity, from the number of places you could put a hole and make it more difficult than what it needs to be. A number of them have an upper lower type shelf. And then, like I said, everything breaks towards the railroad tracks for the first time. I think the last 2 times I went with you guys and the one before, I think I was like triple for the first 3 holes because you just could not figure out the greens. And even the first hole, John, I think you probably had the best approach shot to all of us. It's a double pin hole, like number 17 and 1 share a very large green. If I remember correctly, John was putting from near the 17th hole for that first one. Yeah, just incredible. Like Robbie said, it's a hidden gem for sure that if you're making that trip and you're running down the I-20 corridor and you're like, okay, I'm going to play Sage, I'm going to play Old Barnwell and Tree Farm, things like that, a day at Aiken Golf Club would be well worth its value.
Hey, this is random. So I Googled Aiken Golf Club just to look at a couple stats. Mm-hmm. Built in 1912. It's apparently a traditional Scottish-style golf experience. It opened as an 11-hole course, renovated by Jim McNair, so yes, renovation. But unique distinction, the first club in the U.S. to establish women's tees around 1916. That's pretty cool.
That is a cool stat. And I want to believe it opened up as a resort course where there was a hotel there.
Yeah, it says the Highland Park Hotel.
Yeah, they tore it down, and it's also very close. It's really close to the Wilcox Hotel there in Aiken, which I know has a great reputation. That's not been in my tax bracket of places to stay in Aiken, but I know it's nice.
I was just about to say, when we played with Robbie and Joel, that was part of my wife's and I little getaway. She went to there's a little French restaurant, literally the ladies from France speaking French in the back. And then we stayed at the Wilcox overnight and had dinner, something that we've been wanting to do since we moved to Augusta in 2009. So it only took us 15 years or something like that. But yeah, and that is, if you're looking for a full quaint experience, grab lunch at the Aiken Golf Club, play a round of golf, and then go enjoy dinner at the Wilcox. Just make sure to bring your smoking jacket. They don't allow smoking, but it feels like that's what you should do in their parlor.
So you tell me the Wilcox Hotel, is it a high level hotel? You're really, really nice. I mean, because it's got a reputation of me being a really nice place.
It is a nice place. It has been renovated, so don't come in expecting it to be like this brand new 2025 Ritz-Carlton or something. Mm-hmm. So it's still like older rooms, the shower area, that kind of stuff is still, but it's been renovated to be nice. The restaurant is exceptional. The food there is fantastic. And like I said, they've got a fireplace there. I've heard that during the Masters, there's people who are doing like putting challenges and things like that there in the parlor area. So again, and then your downtown Aiken area is quite a quaint location. So if you were going to come into the area and spend a few days and have Aiken as sort of your jumping off point to different golf courses. Lots of fabulous restaurants and places to hang out and do some fun things.
One other piece of trivia to add there is we mentioned Jim McNair Jr. bought it and restored it or renovated a lot of it. Do you know what other course in the Aiken area he is known for?
Jim McNair?
Yeah.
No, you've got me on that one.
Hold on, let me think about it. I don't know.
Not Palmetto.
No. The Chalk Mine 9. He's the one that he and his buddies said, hey, let's get our tractors, and made the Chalk Mine, which
that's
is
right. I forgot.
incredible.
They were the owner of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic par 3.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, really difficult.
Oh, yeah. We could talk days about the difficulty of that place, but it's for kids. Don't worry.
I did go over there over the summer, and I had 5 balls with me. I was like, I'll be fine. It's a par 3. And I had to go searching for balls. That was embarrassing. I don't want to talk too much about that.
Yeah.
What was your guys' favorite? Do you have a favorite hole at Aiken Golf Club?
Go ahead, John. You start.
I like the first couple, and especially that runs, along the railroad tracks. Like I want to say it was the par 4, number 3, where you have to look up at the tracks. Now I wish there was a train that came over there that while he's doing it. I just like when I see things that are different. And there was a lot of holes that I really did enjoy, but I would say the number 3 par 4 is actually one of the, it was at 342, I think, when we played it, which is one of the longer ones, I think, for some of them. But I really enjoyed that one.
The uniqueness of some of those holes, I always call them deceitful, because if you can hit the ball a long way, they tempt you to pull out the driver and try to drive the green, and yet you still end up somehow with a bogey or worse. They've got that one par 3. I think the par 3 in that middle grouping is probably going to be my nemesis. I think it's like 180 yards, and they almost always have the hole tucked back in the right corner, protected by a bunker and a tree that overhangs. Yes. And my shot shape doesn't help me there. If I could hit, what's this shape? It's a draw. Is that right?
For you as a lefty, yes, that would be a draw.
All right. If I could hit a draw shot, then I would love that hole. But unfortunately, I have a slice shot. So it always ends up 50, 60 yards away from the actual green. But that one, and then the short par 4 that if you're not paying attention, you think is the turn, and you end up like the group that was in front of us, taking a right and heading on to 15. I think it's 15. But those two right there, I find fun, and partly because we've interviewed a number of architects on our podcast, The Whole Story, and they talk about like a hole should tempt people who are good at golf to do things they wouldn't normally do. And it's just enough downhill, and it's just that Robbie and I both, right? We were like, grip it and rip it. Jonathan Dickinson, a buddy of ours, he would love the drivable par 4s. And he may end up, 60 yards past after he bounces off the green. But those handful of holes offer just that uniqueness of, it's a course that you think about and you want to go back to challenge it again to see how you would play it differently, to see if you could fix whatever turned into a bad round or a bad hole. But at the same time, again, women's tees, they have a front, middle, back. If you're colorblind like me, they solve that by just using gray cubes. So you have to pay attention to where the gray cube is going to be. But if you have a long game, it provides some difficulty. But if you hit a little bit shorter, it's fine too. I think it gives the balance of both.
Yeah, I would say, to answer your question on favorites, Jonathan kind of referenced it earlier, but the number 17 and number 1, because they share that green. And I think I like those because they offer challenging second shots. Number 1, you have this green that, like we were saying, if you're in the fairway, it's kind of slanted left or right to left. And the green, so it's going to make you, for us righties, intentionally like draw the ball. And the green, you can't see it enough to know that you're probably going to miss the green left if you go at the flag, which of course I did. And then 17 coming back, it's a slight dog leg right coming back up the hill with really a blind second shot to the hole. Again, the shared green, and it's just I like the challenge of both of those. So any good hole that will give you a challenge for the second shot is something that I like. But like Jonathan said, there were a couple drivable par fours that were fun. You pull out, a 7-wood, 3-wood, something like that, and go for it. But they're tricky. I had one. I was right next to the green, and because I was just short and kind of had a little dip before the green and nowhere to land the ball, I chipped it on, but it rolled just off and ended up making a bogey, even though I was 10 feet away from the green. So very, very cool design holes.
Remind me, what tees did we play from? Did we play from the metal tees or did we play from the mid tees?
The
I want to say we
middle.
played.
I think it's the middle because the metal. There's back, middle, and front. I don't know what they call them, but
yeah, we played from not the very back.
Mm-mm.
Let's see,
because it was either 5,600 or 5,200 plus.
It was 5,200.
Right.
Okay.
So we played from the metal tees.
And for me, I'm not a long hitter.
Or the mid tees, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And so you put any course out there, it could be a straight 100-yard drive and it'd be challenging for me. But I really enjoyed it. But I can understand for better golfers where, it still challenges you. And Jonathan, your point, that's one of those, I want to go back out there. It was my best round of 2025. My best scoring round, without a doubt. And then I'm mad because I made a 6 on that last par 3. Like, I didn't know what I was shooting. I knew I was scoring okay for me. But if I made a 6 on that last par 3, if I could have just gotten a little bit better. Did any of us do well on the 18th? Like, I love finishing at a clubhouse. I don't remember. I think we all went down there by that tree.
I bogeyed. I was short of the green and did not get up and down, so I bogeyed.
Yeah, you, me, and Sherv were all somewhere by the tree. I was almost in the number 1 fairway. My slice did not happen. It went straight, so I hooked it. So I had a pretty difficult up and down. And that's the thing, too. You talk about blind shots. Some of these tees, even if you're in the middle of the fairway, and I remember whenever we went and played it in September or August, whatever it was with my other buddies, I was really frustrated whenever I got up to number 1, whenever I got to the green, because I didn't realize how much room I was going to have left, right, but not deep. And so but you can't see it. Like, you see the flag stick, but almost everything is some sort of elevated. There's only a handful of holes that you can actually see what's going on. As a matter of fact, I think it's number 4, that short par 3, maybe 140 yards, but it plays 60, 70 feet up. It's got a little pop bunker in the back corner. It's got a bunker to the left. And I think it's also a 2-level green. So, just so many places and spaces that challenge good golfers and allow all of the rest of us who just are really bad at golf to somehow enjoy our day, even whenever
Remember
we're being
on
tortured.
that par 3 when you're like, why are you hitting so much club? And then Robbie's the only one on the green.
Robbie was. Well, I hit the right club. I just didn't hit it the right direction.
Got to do both most of the time, which that's the problem for everybody, right? And I made the birdie putt.
Just not that we're not competitive or
not that we're not counting or competitive for sure.
I was the one thing I really, first of all, I really enjoyed getting to play with you guys and Jonathan, meeting Robbie, first time playing golf with you. That always makes, when you're with good people, as we've always talked about and y'all have talked about on your podcast, it makes a round so much more fun. And that'd be one of those, if I still played by myself, I know I would still enjoy. What criticisms would you give of Aiken Golf Club? Do you have any criticisms for them?
There's no way to avoid what Helene has done to the golf courses in the Augusta area, the Augusta Aiken area. So if you go out there, I think Robbie even benefited from it. Free relief, because there's still cleanup that's occurring on some, next to a property. I think of number 2. It is drastically different. Number 2 is because it used to be that the entire left side of the fairway was lined by trees, and now you just have like a wasteland. Fortunately for me, I hit my ball way to the left, so I can find it now. But it doesn't change the fact that there are some places and spaces where it becomes difficult. So if you come down and you're like, these guys said it was a great golf course, but all of a sudden you're seeing down trees in places, why haven't they cleaned that up? Well, they might have lost 2,000 trees. I know courses in the Augusta area lost more than 3,000 trees. And they also found out that there's no insurance that covers that. Someone's just got to write a check to pull those out of the way. And so that would be my only thing. Maybe they need a sign that tells people to cross the road after number 7 so that they don't turn on to number 15.
There was a sign. If you know what hole you're on and what hole you're going to, you say, "Oh, got to go left."
I didn't see the sign.
You got to know to look for signs. Mine, John, I would say, I think the greens were in great shape, and typically that is the biggest judge for me on how good a course is, or at least the upkeep of a course. You want those to be as good as possible. So I imagine, the greenskeepers, the superintendent, the crew make sure that those are as good as they are, which they are really good. And then, because I'm sure limited staff, budgets, things like that, some spots in the fairway, some if you're just off the rough, again, probably like Jonathan said, some effects from Helene where there's washout and stuff, and you just can't grow grass where you've got, earth that has been moved. And so you find yourself on a hard pan or something like that. But again, we're playing winter golf, and so you kind of knew to expect it. And so it's hard to find any complaints, really.
No, I'm with you.
I would go back in a heartbeat. Like if you said, "Hey, we're going tomorrow," like, yeah, sure, let's go.
I'm with you. And I think that's a test of how you like a course is like, are you willing to go back? How quickly are you willing to go back? I certainly won't wait another 20 years before I go back. I mean, and I'm like, that's why I feel so silly for being, like I say, being snobbish. Like, Aiken Golf Club, it's how good can it be? I played it. It wasn't that good, but I enjoyed it. My biggest criticism is the halfway house wasn't open. Like, I wanted something to eat. I mean,
that's true.
We were there like December 29th.
Yeah, I know, but I like my food, and I like to try different things, see what they got. So yeah, that's my biggest criticism that I got, and I think that's certainly a pretty good day. Now, one of the things I like to do, I do a top 10 every week, but we're going to do the top 10 a little bit differently this week, where I'm actually doing a draft. I'm doing a draft that involves all of us here. We're going to complete a top 10 of the courses we want to play in the Augusta, Aiken area. And my limitations are it's got to be about within 45 minutes to an hour of Aiken/Augusta. And the stipulation is, let's say you got a group of them out of town coming. You got 3 other people from out of town. You want to take them to any courses in the area. We're going to take Augusta National off the table because we know Augusta National. So the way we're going to do this is once that you pick a course, it's off the table. You can no longer pick it. So Jonathan, since I'm going to give you an option. You can either have the first pick, second pick, or the third pick.
Third
pick, because the third pick means you also get the snake draft.
That's fine.
So you want to go with the third pick. So you can get the third and the 2 back to back. All right, Robbie, what do you want? Do you want the first pick?
I would like you to decide who goes first and second. Then it's your show.
Throw a tee up in the air. Let's see where it lands.
Yeah. Okay, Robbie, it goes to you. You're going first. How about that?
All right.
We'll go Robbie first. I'll go second. Jonathan, you're going to go third and fourth, and then Robbie, and then we'll go.
You tell us when we got to go. So I start, huh?
Yep, you start. What would you pick? Your first one. Now Augusta National's everybody's number one, so we're taking that one off the table.
And we could definitely get on there. So that's everybody's number one. We know it would happen anyway. So
yes. And we're going to post this too, by the way. I'm going to post this afterwards, and I'm going to have people vote on who had the best draft.
Okay. I'm going Old Barnwell. It's amazing. It is one of the best courses, not only in South Carolina, I think in the U.S., and I haven't played a ton around the world, but it is amazing. So you've got the main Old Barnwell course. You have the kids course. You have the Gilroy that is being constructed now. So when I say Old Barnwell, it comes with a lot of good things. They have the lodging now, great food. Kitty Nicastro, who's the head pro there, the entire team, Nick Schreiber that owns it, John Lavelle. Everybody is great there, and the course is amazing. So my pick for the number one in this draft is Old Barnwell. I'm wearing the hat, so it worked out. How about that?
You were wearing a hat, and I will tell you, if I had the first pick, I probably would have picked Old Barnwell as well. I can't argue with that. Since I got the second pick, I'm going to go with Tree Farm. I had the opportunity to play it back in December. I just loved it for just the experience of it. The course that Zach Blair has created there with the hospitality and just the food on there is good. The homemade Uncrustable sandwiches and the butter crackers. Those things were so good. It's funny, butter crackers that anybody could probably fix at their oven at home. That was one of the things that our group we were like, oh, this is the best ever. Dudes were going home making their homemade butter crackers after that round. We were talking about butter crackers and trash cans in the ground. I don't know what else.
That is a nice touch.
That is a nice touch. Yeah.
So we'll go with Tree Farm at number 2. All right, Jonathan, you've got the next 2 picks. This is a good spot to be in.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, this is strategery. I'm going to go with Sage Valley. One beautiful course that if you're like, there's no way I could ever get onto that and be able to play it, don't worry. For $25 in the spring, you can come watch the juniors amateur play. Last year was the first time they really started charging and having to bus you in, but for $25, it's just free for all. You just go out there, you get to walk the entire course, very laid back. You get full access when it comes to the property, not the clubhouse and things like that. But I've recently got to play there. Incredible lunch from a friend of mine who's a member. We did miss out on the lit par 3. Maybe someday we'll be able to spend the night, but nothing's better than walking up to a fresh driving range with your caddy there in white waiting for you with your golf bag. So I'm going to go Sage Valley as the first one.
All right. That's a great one. What do you guys, your next one?
All right. This is the one that no one else is going to take because it's mine and mine alone. I'm going to go the opposite direction between the exclusive Sage Valley that you can't get onto and take you out to Fort Gordon. I sing the praises all the time of if you are near a military base and they have a golf course, you should go check it out. Fort Gordon has 3 9-hole courses that they regularly rotate through. I have the civilian weekday rate, which means I pay $500 for the year, and I can go out and play golf for $2 for 9 holes to walk. And it includes reciprocity. So Robbie and I played golf yesterday. We were at Fort Jackson, and for $23, we got to ride 18 holes. So great golf course, incredible people. They regularly put on tournaments and things like that. And they've got every single 9 holes has their signature hole that makes you look at it and go, okay, I want to do this again.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. I've got the next pick, and I'm struggling. I'm buying a little time here to decide, kind of like the NFL draft, figure out which one I'm going to go with because I got a couple in my head. I'm going to go with one that I don't think many people played yet, and I don't even know if it's technically open, but we're going to go with the 21 Club.
I knew he was doing that.
Yeah.
Dang it! I was hoping to get that one next.
Yeah. And Alice, based on an Alistair McKenzie missing design from Argentina. I mean, that just sounds really cool. I don't know how accurate all that is, but it sounds really, really cool. And I think maybe too, the mystery of it and being brand new, that's one that I think I just had to go with, had to try that. There was a couple others. Maybe I can sneak another one in, but Robbie, what do you got as your second one?
I'm going old school. And I'm going with the Palmetto Golf Club. It is private, but there are obviously members. It is the greens at Palmetto are probably the hardest greens I've ever played. And I think back to the first time I've gotten to play it 2, maybe 3 times now, but the greens. I tell people if you miss the green, and they all have the slopes where it just kind of, propels your ball off into the different areas. But the greens to get back on, you can't really go at the flags at all. So, and your approach shot or your wedge shot from off the green, you try to get it within 10, 15, 20 feet. And that's a success, right? And then try to make a putt. It's old school. It is a great layout. It is a great golf course. So Palmetto Golf Club.
Yep, that was certainly one of the ones I was debating about picking that. All right, you got another one now. Your last one. So you got Old Barnwell, Palmetto, Augusta National too, because everybody's got it. What you gonna go with your last one?
This is my last pick.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, then I'm going what the subject of this podcast is about. I'm going Aiken Golf Club. I love it. Yeah, it's a fantastic course. if I was planning a trip and let's say I had one of the other options that I had, I would say let's go and add a round at Aiken Golf Club. And I think we have already explained why it's that good.
Oh,
I would love to do it. The first time Jonathan and I played it, I think was February, Jonathan, and then we've played it in December, a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And I would love to play it like Jonathan described when there's actually not wintertime conditions, just to see it with some grass on it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I think is really cool going back to Augusta Golf Club is like, Masters Week. I mean, granted, they jacked the rates up a little bit, but it's still, and I'm using this term loosely, $170, $175 per person for a round during Masters Week, which all things considering what some of the other courses are charging during Masters Week, that actually sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So I think that's a good pick. For my last pick, I'm going to go, since this hasn't been pulled out, Augusta Country Club.
Yeah.
I think, why not play right next where the Masters is going on? I don't know anything else about the course other than it just seems to be really like a really cool course. And I haven't heard of a ton of people playing it. A little bit of mystery for that one for me, but I'd go with the Augusta Country Club. Do y'all either know much about that?
I know I need to text the guy who I got an invite, met him in the lounge at the airport. So, yeah, I've got friends that have worked it. One of my really good friends who's in the Augusta area, Maddox, he used to work there. So every Monday it's closed, and that's whenever the employees can come and play. So they would play 3 rounds of golf, literally, just be dropped off and play all day long. Did we interview a guy or did we just meet him? The guy that used to play at the Augusta Country Club, and then he would jump the fence and play the 4 holes at the Augusta National, and then come back around and jump the fence back over to the.
I don't remember that.
It must be a guy that I just met here locally
or made up, whatever.
No, it's not made up. No, there used to be. The Masters used to be pretty chill. Like you could bring your picnic on a Sunday afternoon, literally bring in your own food, sit on the grass and watch the last day of the Masters. And so people who've lived here their entire lives, I knew a guy that he worked at the Augusta Country Club probably back in like the 40s and 50s. And he'd literally play the first 9 or 10 holes, jump a fence, play 4 or 5 holes at the Augusta National, jump the fence back over and finish up the round. So
that would sound like a pretty cool thing. I wouldn't advise anybody to go jump any fences right now.
No, you're going to go to jail if you jump the fence now. There's no
jail,
fence to jump.
Shot.
You're going to be in trouble.
Whatever. All right, Jonathan, you got your last pick. Not regular.
This is my last pick?
Jail. Your last pick. You're the last one closing it down.
All right, so I looked up one that's going to be an honorable mention, but it's too far away according to the rules. Arrowhead Point, if my buddy Sherv's listening, we call it Sherv National. It's a great course, but instead I'm going to pick the Chalk Mine. We would all agree, of all the places I've played everywhere, including the world, it is in my top 5. Maybe almost my number 1. I've done it once. I don't know why I haven't gone back since. It's not that far. It's not expensive. And it's just, you're happy the entire time. Except, John, whenever you mention you got to go 5 balls.
I was about to say, I wasn't always happy when I...
Bring more balls. But it's just fun. It's so much fun. You do wonder how they teach children how to hit golf balls at this place. There's no way. There's so many carries. There's so many hard holes. There's so many greens that just roll away from anything that would resemble a pin. I think the longest one is the last hole at 125 yards. And it is just a great time. Whenever we talk about putting together a trip, it would absolutely be the Sunday choice to be able to roll out there for $20, play 9 holes, give them another 20, and do it again. There's no way that you'd ever want to not play the Chalk Mine if you came to the Aiken area and you were trying to figure out where to play.
I completely agree. I worked a basketball event over the summer. We got done on a Sunday, and I went out there just at the last minute to go play. First of all, it was like 98 degrees. I mean, it was it was blazing. I took my 5. I thought I brought more than 5 balls. And I was like, I'll be fine. First hole, wham, wham, just 2 right in the thick stuff. I was like, oh, this isn't good. I ended up playing with a couple of pink balls that I found. That's how I had to kind of end my round because those were what I had. And I was like, oh my goodness, am I even going to be able to finish this? But no, I love that. I loved all of your picks. We'll put that out there for the world to see and let the people vote who they think had the best three golf courses in there. I kind of want to.
Can we throw an honorable mention or two in there?
Sure, go ahead. What's a couple of honorable
I'm
mentions?
shocked Jonathan didn't say this one, but Champions Retreat. Like,
I forgot about.
If you can get on Champions Retreat, I don't know if you know, when you're organizing your little buddies trip, like if we can get that as a part of it, but that place is incredible. They host the first 2 rounds of the ANWA for a reason, because it's that good of a course. I played in a charity tournament. The only time I've ever played in a charity tournament. So it was, you know, captain's choice. Everybody takes it. So I didn't play my own ball, but I would love to go back there and play.
We need to get that figured out.
My second honorable mention, and this course is under construction now. You mentioned 21 Club, which, yes, that's open for some preview play, but coming soon, the New Holland Golf Club.
That's right.
Yeah, you need to check out that one. What's coming there?
Now, is the New Holland one, is that the one that's across the street from the tree farm, or supposedly,
not far from there? Yep,
not far. Of course, I also want to see the patch. You know, that's being. I guess it's a par 3 and a regular part of the municipal, or is that part of the? Is it separate?
It'll be separate. There? So the municipal, well, it's in the same complex, but the municipal's there, and then the par 3 is going to be the first tee program. So yeah, I think the par 3 is Tiger Woods' design, and then the patch is. We're just all holding our breath that it doesn't turn into something super expensive, because it used to be cheap to go play the patch. And then we didn't mention, I mean, again, you talk about golf at Augusta, Forest Hills across the street.
Yeah.
There's rumors that that's going to go private and be the ANWA host for the first 2 rounds. So if you haven't played there and you want to make sure you get in before you can't, be a good time to go and play there.
I like that course too.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, and Robbie, you've played it before, but after Helene, it's a different course. Like, there's wind that comes across the fairways from the clubhouse. You can see 4 or 5 of the holes, when before you could only see like 1, maybe 2. So it's kind of opened it up there. But yeah, I mean, there's so many places that we talk about all the time. People come in for these trips thinking that they need to play the exclusive one-off clubs and stuff like that, which we've played, and they are nice and they're a lot of fun. But it doesn't change the fact that there are courses out there that take you by surprise when you pull up and realize that this is really good golf. And from a budget perspective, it's a little bit nicer. Since we're going to lose 4 or 5 balls every round anyway, we got to add that into the cost of playing.
Like Pine Ridge over in Edgefield, that was a fun course.
I was ready to say that. I almost thought about picking that as one of my courses, because
nice. It was fun.
It was fun. The greens were in great shape. Yeah, there wasn't anything to complain about to go out and play that 18.
Yeah, I even enjoyed when I played. It wasn't terribly long after Helene played Mount Vintage out there.
Oh, yeah. That's nice too.
It was unbelievable how much that was damaged during different times, but I really enjoyed that.
That's a 3 9 holes as well. So they get to rotate through the Chester, the Independent, and something else. Yeah.
Well, I know one thing you guys have just recently started. Y'all have recently the BestBall Golf Club, which is something I'm really excited about. I'd love for y'all to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
If you join the BestBall Golf Club, all the courses that we just mentioned, you get to play for free. We've worked out no, I'm just joking. The thing about BestBall Golf Club is that it does not have a golf club, a physical golf club. So it can be literally anywhere you are. And we talk about it all the time. The reason we have started this whole entire venture is because golf is people. And so we're creating spaces and places for us to get together virtually, for us to get together personally and in person. And so if you're looking for a place to meet people across the country, to always have someone that can pick up an extra round of golf across the world. Do we have anybody international yet?
Not yet.
China.
Somebody could be.
We've got downloads in China, right? So we're expecting for people to come and join us there. But no, it really is just a place for people who love golf, but more importantly, at the end of a round, and at the end of the day, you're excited to be playing with the people that you got to swing with, not necessarily the course or the score or anything else like that. It can turn a day where you shoot 120 into still a good day because of the people that you got to do it with.
Yeah, I agree. It is meant to connect people, right? We're building a community For example, we posted the other day that we were looking to play, or we were going to be playing, the following week in Columbia. And I think we had a couple of people say, hey, I'd love to do it, just can't make it this time. One example is I'm going down to the PGA show next week. And on my way, I'm going through Jacksonville, and two fellow BestBall Golf Club members who live in Jacksonville, they don't know each other yet, but the three of us are going to get together and play some golf in Jacksonville. So it's for people to meet people. We've got Grant Holly out in California, part of Goat Hill Park. Like, I can't wait to go out to Oceanside, California and say, Grant, I'm coming. Let's play some golf. And he would happily host us and have fun out there, and vice versa. Like, we want him to come back this direction where we can hang out. But yeah, it's that. Our friends that we went on the Scotland golf trip, they're part of this thing. So if you're rolling up to Indianapolis, like, you got people you can go play with. It's not designed to, like Jonathan said, there's no physical club, right? It is designed to connect people. So we're not saying, hey, you got to resign your club membership and join this one. No. We don't want to do that. We want a place where you can say, hey, I'm going to go play at my home club, and I need 2 more people to come. Does anybody want to come play? And all of a sudden you got more people, more connections, and there's so many good people in the game of golf. And a lot of times, you end up maybe playing by yourself because you couldn't find one of your normal regulars to play with. But if you throw something out there on the message board, say, hey, I'm going to go play wherever, you might have 1 or 2 new people that say, I'll come play with you. And then all of a sudden you have 1 or 2 more new friends that you can then add to the, hey, let's go play some more golf.
I think it's outstanding. I'm one of the guys that I probably more times than not don't play with a regular group just because my schedule can be chaotic and I might know within less than a couple of days. I'm okay with playing by myself, but I would rather connect with people. I would rather play with people that I know or get to know new people. And so I think this is where this is going to be a great opportunity. I do remember seeing, hey, we got room for one more at Goat Hill Park. And I was like, Goat Hill Park? That's out in California, right? And I'm sitting there. Then I started thinking, man, can I get, no, don't be crazy. I can't do that. Even though I did think about it, I said, man, that would be so much fun. Where do you tell people to go get more information if they're interested in the BestBall Golf Club?
The best place is just our website, bestball.com. I mean, you can find out about all the podcasts that we do, including this one, but you can find out about the BestBall Golf Club. You can find out, you read some blogs that we do, but yeah, I would say bestball.com is the best place, or follow us on any of the social media channels, and it's at Golf BestBall.
There you go. Well, tell me, what do y'all got coming up, Jonathan, on the Whole Story podcast? What are some of the upcoming episodes that you got?
We are 1 week and 1 day away from our 150th show, right? That's happening next week while Robbie's at the PGA show. So 150th, we're interviewing, I can't remember her name, but she's a professional women's golfer. And so we're excited. Robbie and I talk about it all the time. We decided we were going to do this. We're now in season 4. And we just said, as long as we're still having fun, as long as we're still meeting fun people, and Robbie and I get to hang out at least 1 hour a week, then we're going to keep doing it. And here we are, 150 episodes in. And it has been, I mean, even today, we interviewed a guy this morning, and now we've got a friend in Mexico. He's connected to TPC. He's going to stay at my house during the Masters. Like, just incredible ways to meet people across the world, across the country. And, 150 episodes. It's fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming up. We're excited.
Yep.
Well, you've had some great guests. I just not too long ago listened to your episode with Billy Dratty. I mean, that's awesome. And you were talking about that's one of the biggest names in golf to have right there. And of course, I love my B Dratty polos that I've got. It's just, you've got the big names, and you got some up and coming names of the different people. I've really enjoyed all the different people that you've had on your podcast. I encourage people to go to bestball.com to check out the golf club and check out all the different podcasts that we have. You guys got any good parting words before we shut this thing down for the day?
Jonathan, anything?
If you can go out and play, go out and play. If you're in the South, listen, even if it's a little chilly, it's still good weather. Winter golf is good golf. Plus, in the winter golf, you can pick up your ball and clean it and move it. No one really cares. You're not cheating in the winter.
My parting thoughts and comments is, John, I think these are awesome, man. I love what you're doing with the Southern State of Golf. I think a podcast highlighting the great things going on in golf in this part of the country is outstanding. I love when you have guests. I love when it's just you and you are kind of giving your opinion of trips to Cabot, trips to Streamsong, and sharing what you like about these places, right? I think more people like you, even like us, we're still outsiders in the golf space, right? We've been doing this for 4 years, but I think honest opinions from people who are actually playing golf at the Aiken Golf Clubs, at the regular places, is exactly what it is. So I encourage you. I thank you for what we're doing. I'm really excited that you're part of the BestBall family.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of the BestBall family. I've loved it. It's been a blessing. It's been a lot of fun. Even though if I'm talking about how bad I am sometimes or the crazy things that balls
We
that I
do the
lose.
same. That's called course corrections. You can check that out.
But I really appreciate you guys being on the show today talking. I look forward to hey, hopefully we can do this again. Jonathan, when you get us on Augusta National, we can do us another recap show there. And I certainly love for it. But for Jonathan, Robby, I'm John. I appreciate y'all being on another episode of the Southern State of Golf podcast.